The plan today was to check an arena and a science center and then cap the day off with a book stay at an RV park.
Indeed. So come along and join us to experience all the exciting sights and sounds.
Here we go! Ladies and gentlemen, the Traveling Wildberries.
We decided we were going to check another hockey arena off of our "We have visited that hockey arena" list. So we headed downtown to Rogers Place, where the Vancouver Canucks play. The Vancouver Canucks joined the league in 1970 as an expansion team along with the Buffalo Sabres. In its NHL history, the team has advanced to the Stanley Cup Finals 3 times, losing to the New York Islanders in 1982, the New York Rangers in 1994, and the Boston Bruins in 2011. They have won the President's Trophy in back-to-back seasons as a team with the league's best regular season record in 2010-11 and 2011-12 seasons. The Canucks, along with the fellow expansion team, the Buffalo Sabres, are the 2 oldest teams that have never won the Stanley Cup.
We pulled up near the arena scouting for a place to park. We didn't see anything at first, but then we spotted an open area which seemed to have meters. So we drove around the block to get back to that spot. On the return trip around the block, we noticed a slight ramp just before the spot where we saw the meters. So Ken decided to give that a try instead.
It turns out it was a huge raised parking lot directly across from the arena. We noticed a few buses, an RV, and some trucks scattered around, but there really wasn't many vehicles there at all. There was a section that was cordoned off, which turned out to be a VIP parking area for actors and actresses who were filming a show on an open lot just around the corner. More on that later.
We got ourselves parked and decided to walk around a bit to check out the immediate area before crossing over to see the stadium and the arena.
We noticed this tent, which was occupied by a couple of dudes.
Don't forget the dog.
Oh, yeah.
What a great spot. Right next to the edge of the water on some of the most prestigious real estate one could ask for. Yeah, prime time real estate for pennies a day. The folks in the apartments and condos in the building right there have probably paid millions for this view.
Rogers Place was closed, but we toured around the building anyways.
We then decided to take a longer walk around the bay in order to visit the Science Center on the far point.
Once we got there, we decided to buy tickets and go in to see the exhibits. They were also running an IMAX movie called A Beautiful Planet, so we opted for that as an add-on to the tickets.
This exhibit used some kind of thermal camera, which was kind of neat.
The Science Center was kind of interesting, but more geared towards entertaining the kids. The IMAX movie was good though. We have seen many of those and we always seem to enjoy them.
Once done with the Science Center and the movie, we went looking for something to eat. Ended up having A&W at a small downtown location.
On our walk back to the RV, we came across the movie set that I had mentioned earlier. It seemed they were running a scene or maybe rehearsing a part of a scene.
Number 12. Number 12, you done it, you won it, you beat the little kitty big bully.
We decided to wait and eat supper once we got settled in at the RV park.
It was only about a 20-minute drive over there. However, we did run into some traffic on the bridge, which added another 20 minutes or so.
Once we got settled in, Ken fired up the barbecue and cooked us up a nice steak supper. It's a good thing he's a good cook. Otherwise, I'd have little use for him.
Hey!
Just teasing.
Yeah, I know.
Sorta. Ha ha ha.
Grumble. After supper, I flew the drone to get the bird's eye view of the campground and the area that surrounded us. I have to say, they have us pretty crammed in here, like sardines in a can.
Yeah, and it wasn't cheap either.
No, but it is close to downtown and Stanley Park, though.
True. After relaxing for a bit, I decided to do some laundry. Fun.
I took care of a few little things involving the RV and then went over to meet Kat as she was just finishing up the first load. We hung out in the lounge near the pool, which was connected to the laundry area.
And that was it. Another adventure-filled day in the books.
And in the morning, we headed over to Lynn Canyon.
It's a bit further away than Capilano site, but we took the advice of the fellow at the Loose Caboose and decided we wanted to see Lynn Canyon.
We arrived just before noon. Once we found a parking spot that suited our fancy, we scouted for the suspension bridge.
Now that was really neat. Once on the other side, we took a right turn and explored the pathway as far as we could go. We got to a section quite a ways down which crossed the gorge back to the side we started out on, but it wasn't as dramatic as a suspension bridge. We went back to the RV to have a bite to eat.
After we ate, we started the whole thing over again, crossing the suspension bridge, but this time we turned left as we were told there was another set of paths that way which led to an area where people jump from the rock ledges and swim in a little cove area.
The trek to the diving spot was beautiful. The pathways, the sound of the birds, the canopy of huge trees.
When we got to the rock jumping / swimming spot, we watched folks doing their daring dives and jumps from the cliffs. The one dude did an impressive backflip, which he got some applause for. I had considered going for a swim, but decided not to.
After watching for a while, we headed on back to the RV. We had some hot dogs on the BBQ, then hung out for a bit at the picnic table.
The BBQ?
We then decided it was time to hit the road.
Our oil change appointment was set for tomorrow morning back in Chilliwack, so the plan was to drive back out of Vancouver, find an overnight spot near the dealership, and then bring the rig over early in the morning for the oil change.
Once that was done, we figured we would just simply continue on from there and begin the return journey back the same way we had come.
It turns out the words of a stranger pushed us to change the plan, so stay tuned to find out what we ended up doing instead. See yous all in the next exciting video. Ciao for now.